So last week I talked about 5 reasons why I absolutely hate classic bikes. Some of you agreed with me. Some of you told me become a mechanic or buy yourself a modern bike. And some of you reminded me I'd forgotten that brakes didn't seem to work in the 80s. Despite all of that, I love these old bikes. So today I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why I absolutely love classic bikes. And at the end, I'm going to give you a bonus reason. In at number 5, every bike has a story. 43 years and 3 months ago to the day, Christopher Jones went into Tyne Valley Motorcycles and bought himself this XJ650 Turbo, paying £2,685. Maybe he saw the advert for the bike. Perhaps he saw the teaser trailer for Never Say Never Again, where Sean Connery rode this as James Bond. But for whatever reason, he cobbled together all his money, went out and bought this bike, cherished it, loved it, made memories on it, looked after it, and eventually passed it on to the next person. 40 years later, I am the latest custodian of this bike. My job is to enjoy it, look after it, and try and make sure it's in good shape for the next person. All of these old bikes have a story. Modern bikes, they haven't got that story yet, so that's one of the things I love about these old bikes. Number 4. These classic bikes are generally easier to maintain yourself. There's no software updates, there's no traction controls, there's no laptop needed to try and diagnose what's going on. You can work out a lot of stuff yourself, and with a toolkit you can fix most of the things yourself. I don't think I've ever been on a trip where something has come off or undone or broken that I haven't been able to fix with the toolkit that's come with a bike. And whilst I don't do so much of the spannering these days, a lot of you have put in the comments of my last video, 5 things I hate about classic bikes, how actually that's part of the joy. And actually you're right, that is part of the joy of owning a classic bike, being able to do some of the maintenance yourself. Reason number 3 why I absolutely love classic bikes, parts. Now I know I was complaining about parts in the last video, and a lot of you have said you don't find it such an issue to find parts for your bikes, but for my bikes it is a real challenge. I can't even get something like an indicator lens. They don't make them anymore. So why do I love it? Well, it means it's a real mission, and I love a mission, I love a challenge, trying to find these bits. And along the way, I find Facebook groups or characters like Panos in Greece, who sells me obscure bits for my katana, that really enrich my life, meeting these people, forming these relationships, and the satisfaction in finding that bit you've been looking for ages. You'll find me on a Japanese auction site, Joust, trying to find bits for my pop-up. I've connected with a guy in Australia who makes the little reset button for those, 3D prints them, because no one makes them anymore. And then I'm on eBay at 2 in the morning, looking for bits for my turbo, and I come across a 40-year-old air filter. They just don't make them anymore. My God, it's like hitting the jackpot, that feeling when you found this old bit. So for me, having a classic bike, when you need the bits, it's not just shopping, it's really like a treasure hunt. That is something special. So number 2 in the reasons why I absolutely love classic bikes are the people you meet along the way. The people who share their experiences of the bikes back in the day, the tips and tricks to keep these things running, the comments on the YouTube videos that help you reflect on your own opinion. For me, that enriches my experience of owning these bikes. But the person who's really made this possible for me is my mechanic, Grumpy 1260. I came across him a couple of years ago because he's a katana man, and he's forgotten more about katanas than we would ever know. He's worked on them for 40 years, and after 2 or 3 mechanics on my bike, he managed to get it running just sweet. And there's a great saying in tennis, you can't teach experience, and he is a great example of that. I trust him implicitly on my bikes. He took this bike that was in boxes from the previous mechanic and built it blind. It runs sweet as a nut. So Grumpy 1260, Chris, I cannot thank you enough for what you have done for me on my biking journey. You're an utter genius with these old Japanese bikes. I've loved getting to know you as a person as well, consider you as a friend, and I'd like to thank you for what you've done for me. You are fantastic. Grumpy 1260, love you. Reason number 1 why I absolutely love these classic bikes, the wow factor. I was at the Baffle House in Wales last week. What a place. I was parked up next to a £40,000 beautiful MV Augusta. People making a beeline for the 40-year-old bike. What bike is that? Is it really a turbo? What does it sound like? What a fantastic opportunity to share a little bit of the joy I've had with this bike and experience with people who clearly love their bikes as well. When I'm out on the Katana, never a trip goes by without someone stopping me and asking me, is that a Katana? My dad had a Katana, my uncle had a Katana. I wish I'd always had a Katana. And sharing some of their stories about bikes and sharing some of the history about the Katana, I absolutely love that. And that is the massive number one about why I absolutely love classic bikes. I said there'd be a bonus. Here's the bonus for you about why I absolutely love classic bikes. When these bikes in the UK are over 40 years old, you can register them as historic, which means you no longer have to pay for an MOT, you no longer have to pay road tax, and you can insure these bikes cheaper under historic insurance, classic insurance. So for me, that's a massive bonus. It makes it a cheaper cost of ownership of these bikes. What is not to like about that? So that's my 5 reasons plus a bonus why I absolutely love classic bikes. It isn't just about the bikes, it's about the people you meet along the way as well. The mechanics like Grumpy 1260, the people who share their war stories at the petrol stations about their bikes, you guys sharing your stories and experiences in the comments. These bikes can be pretty frustrating, but I think they bring people together. And I think after 40 years, these bikes are still pretty special. So if you've got a classic bike, I'd love to know what it is and what keeps you riding it. Thank you so much for watching. Victor 4 signing off.